Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel again. My name is Liz and I'm a part-time reseller in Maryland. Today's video is a little bit different. I've been kicking around this idea for a while with my dad and I finally decided it was time to film what we've been referring to as the quote flea bag video, end quote. When we're going out there to find treasures, we really need to be prepared in order to do our best job as pickers, and I'm hoping that this video will help you do just that. Let's go check it out. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I am going to release a more traditional or typical shopping and haul video, but that one wasn't quite ready and I've been meaning to do this video for a while. So there's a reason why I'm focusing in on a bag here. My dad and I have dubbed this content the flea bag video because that's what he calls the bag he carries to flea markets. I just use my purse, my everyday purse, but I do try to bring certain things to make my job easier as a picker. It's not just, I like that, I want that, that looks valuable. Sometimes you need to be more discerning. And so for a flea market, that's especially true because you have a lot of savvy dealers at flea markets. But anyway, this is just my bag. It's by Latico. I'm obsessed with their bags. No, they aren't sponsoring me. Latico, I would love it if you reached out and decided you wanted to sponsor me. I think I bought 4 or 5 bags from you and I love them all. Right now, the Dalton, that's this one with this sort of herringbone, is my favorite. I can't believe I'm not sponsored. Anyway, I use a crossbody bag so I can be hands-free. I cannot stand it if I don't have my hands free. One of the most important things I always bring is a magnifier or a loop. I like to be able to see marks on jewelry. That doesn't mean that I'm only looking for 14K or 925 or sterling or, a gold filled mark. I might be trying to discern whether I can afford to pay $5 for a piece of costume jewelry. If it's Monet, I'm probably not going to do that. But if the mark says something else, Marvella, Eisenberg, right? Hattie Carnegie, then yes, I might be buying it for $5. In fact, I probably would. So yes, you can use this to try to look for marks on what you would think might be precious metals, but you can also use it for costume jewelry, which please, do not turn up your nose at costume jewelry. Sometimes that is where it's at. So one of the other things I always like to bring, I always like to make sure I have business cards. I have 2 different business cards. I designed them at different times for different purposes. And I still have them. So if someone says, oh, I love Etsy, I want to see what you have, then I give them my Etsy shop card. If I want someone to call me because I want to buy stuff from them, then I give them this card, which has my contact info on the back. However, it is very important every time you give out your contact info to get their contact info. One of my bosses taught me that a long time ago. Thank you, Catherine. About 1 out of every 100 people, is my guess, contacts me from a business card I hand out. But if I have their name and number written down, their email, and what they like, they're interested in, what they have to sell, then I can always be in charge of that first contact. So that's kind of an important business tip. I don't always carry a small scale. My dad likes to carry one because, if you're trying to buy precious metals and you want to calculate based on weight and the daily price of gold, let's say, if you can afford to pay that price, then you bring a scale with you. And I know one of the local dealers who I affectionately refer to as Goldfinger also brings a scale everywhere to make sure he's not overpaying for precious metals. That's up to you, and it's also based on what you actually buy. If you're buying artwork or glass, you don't need this. These are really cheap, lightweight. You can get them on Amazon. Okay. Along with jewelry, I don't always carry a magnet, but typically gold and silver are not magnetic. There are exceptions, so this is not foolproof, but if your necklace sticks to the magnet, it's very likely not gold or sterling. So some people do that. Actually, acid testing at someone's sale, in my opinion, is wrong, and most people would object to it, and it's not because they're selling fake stuff, but there are microscopic marks made on the piece if you test properly, and if you're not buying it, now you've made marks on their piece. You really shouldn't be handling acids randomly on someone's yard sale table anyway, but so yes, the magnet can, just kind of be a substitute for that. I don't buy a lot of items that require a measuring tape, but if you're looking for furniture or a specific piece of art for yourself, then you might need to know what dimensions you're looking for so that you have the perfect landscape for over your fireplace. This just happens to be a little vintage one. Make sure you have glasses. You know, we're like hunting dogs, right? And we are sight dogs. We need to be able to see. So if you need reading glasses, I would suggest you have those too, so you can see a copyright date. Now your loop will come in handy in that regard, but there are some things where the loop makes it actually kind of tricky to do any lengthy reading. So anyway, you might choose to bring a small flashlight. This isn't my smallest one. There are very small ones on Amazon that are about that long, about this long. I know you have a flashlight probably on your smartphone. It's actually not always that easy to use your smartphone and shop and not drop your smartphone. So it might be a better idea to have a small flashlight. I was in a dark basement today and I did use the flashlight on my phone, but my phone isn't as easy to grip. You know, a lot of flashlights have this textured grip. Okay, lights. Again, this is not the smallest one. This is just the one I had here. This is a black light. If you watch the Crazy Lamp Lady, she brings one sometimes, or she used to have one on her keychain, right? Someone gave her one and she had it on her keychain. This can help you differentiate between like uranium glass, they call it, or Vaseline glass, and other glass that does not glow. Those glasses will glow under a black light. Now you have to kind of like put the piece under the table where it's a little bit darker or in a corner to see. The reason that's important is because it increases the value of the piece. Those things are very collectible and they are not dangerous to you. There's not enough radioactivity in those to be dangerous. Your microwave is more dangerous for you. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't use your microwave. That reminds me, I'm going to insert a screenshot here. You should think about, if you're at a flea market, bringing a Geiger counter. My dad has one that they used at one point in Japan for children when there was like a nuclear meltdown. And I'll put a screenshot up so you can see. It's not cheap, but depending on what you're buying, if it came over here in the 80s, you know, and Chernobyl had just happened, they didn't have the systems in place to protect us against radiation the way they do now in airports and such. I bring a mask. I don't bring this for disease control, but you might choose to depending upon your immunity and other health-related concerns. I bring this for dust because I'm allergic to dust, and you might choose to do that too depending on what types of environments you're shopping in. That pretty much sums up everything that I think you should have in your flea bag. It doesn't have to be for flea markets, obviously. And this bag would fit all that stuff. My everyday purse, of course, it has my wallet. It has my money. It fits my phone, and don't forget lip gloss, but it would also easily fit all these things if I did choose to take all these every time. I don't bring all these every time, but it's important to be prepared and know what you need to be best prepared and why you might need those things. So thank you so much for tuning in. This week I am going to release another shopping video with some really cool finds. It should only be a couple of days, but because I was behind, I said, you know what, let me just do this little tutorial for them that I've been sort of sitting on for a while. Thanks again for being here. I hope you get out there soon with your flea bag and find some great things. You know, I always hope that you never stop searching, and I'll see you guys next time.